Hi there, gorgeous, and a very happy drugstore December to you. If you have not heard, every video coming out this entire month is drugstore themed. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm publishing a drugstore video, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're doing Dupe It December. So 5 videos a week, all drugstore themed, all month long. If you'd like to be notified of new ones in the future, please subscribe, and thank you in advance if you do. Today I'm showing you a $40 date night makeup tutorial. Everything from beginning to end. All the products to create this look. Best part is it's affordable and it's really easy to do, which we all love. I do already have an eyeshadow primer applied, which is not going to count towards the grand total for this video because I'm assuming that most of us pretty much already have our own eyeshadow primer on hand. So, beginning with the Wet n Wild Brûlée shade, I'm going to use this for blending in this look and possibly for an eyeshadow placement a little bit later. But I'm going to start by prepping my eye and applying this onto the brow bone. The eyeshadow palette that I'm using to create today's sultry, smoky date night look is from Wet n Wild, and it is their Glamour Squad palette. I'm going to begin with this shade right here. I changed my mind. Nope. I'm going to be using this shade right here to start with. I'll make it up as I go along. And I'm going to blend that into the crease. I'm going to try to edit this video as little as possible so you can see everything that I'm doing, because I know it's more helpful when you're able to see everything in real time, rather than me cutting away and coming back. Just know that when I do my eyes, especially on a date night type of look, it usually takes me about 15-20 minutes. And that's just because I enjoy the creation process and I spend a bit more time on it, as opposed to my normal day looks, which only take me maybe 10 minutes tops to do, which I need a date night. We haven't had a date night in months and months. So hopefully we get that soon. Hopefully. And I didn't really talk much about it on the other eye, but I also extended this eyeshadow out a little further into the outer V, so you can see that it goes out and creates more of a point. Then I'm going back with that Wet n Wild Brûlée shade, and I'm going to blend the edges a little bit. Taking that Brûlée shade, I am going to be applying this onto the inner half of the lid. If you want something with a little bit more sparkle, then I would recommend going in with a shade like this one instead, or you could even use the gold, you could use the pink. Any number of these would be beautiful in placement of where I'm putting this next eyeshadow. Or you can use a shade that matches your skin tone here also. I like to do this because it helps to brighten the eyes, and sometimes I like more of a matte look for a date night. I did leave a little bit of a blank spot on the outer third of the eye there, so what I'm doing is going back with the same crease color I used earlier, the shade right here from the palette, and I'm going to fill that in and then blend it back into the lighter shade that's on the lid. Because in this look I want the eyeshadow to be a bit more subtle, simply because I'm going to be making the eyeliner much more dramatic, so I want that to be the focus of the look more so than the eyeshadow colors that you're seeing here. For the eyeliner, I'm going to be taking an angled brush, using the black eyeshadow from this palette and this deeper brown, but I'm going to start with the black first and line the upper lash line with it. Once I have that on the eyes, I'm going back with that deeper brown at the bottom of the palette. I'm taking the Sigma E30 pencil brush, and I'm going to use that eyeshadow to smudge out the black. You could also use the black to smudge here. I'm using brown to keep the look a bit more soft and not so harsh. I am smudging it on the inner right here also, but I'm not doing it as dramatically as I am on the outer half. And there you can see what I'm going for from this eye to this eye. It adds a whole other dimension to your eyes and really helps to bring them out. I am also adding a wing, so I'm going back with that same angled brush that I used to apply it initially to the lash line, taking the black shade, and this is going to be a small kitten wing, and the way that I do this is I basically position the brush like that to create a line towards the eye, and then begin to twist it slightly in my fingers, which I can't really show you, you'll just have to visualize it, but what I'm doing basically is I'm twisting the brush like that so that each time I'm applying this eyeshadow, it's helping to connect that wing back to the line that's already been drawn on the lash line. So I hope that makes sense. It's really hard to demonstrate. And then same thing like I did on the lash line, what I'm going to do is take a small amount of that deeper brown and do the same thing to the wing to smoke it out the smallest amount, because I still want it to be defined, but I want to have a smoky appeal to that portion of the eye also. I personally love working with eyeshadow when I'm creating wings because it's so easy to correct and clean up. And what I didn't show you on this side over here, you can see how sharp that wing is as opposed to this one, which is a bit more blunt. I took a makeup remover wipe, and this is an old trick I've shared many times, and I just take a small amount off of the bottom of the wing to help sharpen up those lines. You can use a Q-tip dipped in makeup remover here too. It's really up to you. I like to have a wipe on my table at all times anyway because I'm constantly getting makeup on my fingers and under my eyes. It makes for easy cleanup. Now I'm going to go back and add some more to the lower lash line, but I'm going to wait until the entire face has been completed. For the brows, I am using the Wet n Wild Microbrow pencil. I believe this is in the shade Soft Brown. It still surprises me that they didn't put the shade name on the pencil itself. So when you go to repurchase it, how do you know what shade that you bought? You know, it's anyway, it's a great product despite that, and it goes on incredibly smooth. Curling my lashes and applying a mascara here in a few seconds. Mascara that I'm using is from Essence. This is their Get Big Lashes Waterproof Formula. They do make some fabulous mascaras at very affordable price points too. If you've not tried any of them, they are worth checking out, especially ones like this that have a very thick wand to them. I went ahead and added a pair of false eyelashes. These are from my brand Inky Minky Lashes. I'll have them linked for you below. They are in the style Authentic, and I love these because the more you wear them, the more natural they become. They start to conform themselves to your unique eye shape and then take on a pattern of their own. So that's why I personally really love them. For the face, I'm using this foundation. Found this on Amazon, incredibly inexpensive, but this delivers such a beautiful results on the skin. And it goes on me looking very pale, but the more that I blend it in and after it has an opportunity to settle into my skin, it starts to adjust itself. So if you try this foundation out, keep that in mind that it more than likely will adjust itself to your own unique skin tone after application. For my concealer, I'm using the Colourpop No Filter Concealer, and the shade I'm using here is Fair 06. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff. It's extremely pigmented, but the coverage is gorgeous, and it lasts all day too, or all night in this case. You don't have to worry about creasing, movement. And to set everything, I'm using the Essence All About Matte Fixing Powder. I love this stuff. It's great for holding everything in place. For the under eye area, I had mentioned I wanted to add a little bit more there to help really pop the eyes out. So I'm going back to that Wet n Wild palette, and I'm going to take that same angled brush with the black eyeshadow. The first thing I'll do is line under my lower lash line. I'm not going to go all the way. I'm only going to bring it in about halfway to the eye. Going back with my Sigma E30 brush, I'm going to take the same shade we used for the crease earlier and use that to smudge out the edges of the black. So basically we're mimicking the upper eye look. I need some color on the face because the face is getting so lost here. Didn't add a bronzer specifically because I wanted to keep this look under $40. So I'm going to go back to the Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette, and I'm taking the top shade here. I'm going to use that as a contour. And these eyeshadows are so pigmented that they function well for face color too, if you want to use them that way. And I'm also taking the smallest amount of this pink eyeshadow right here on my finger. This is, oh, it's gorgeous. And applying it on the cheeks. Gives you a little bit of a highlight and color. You could also use this shade from the palette for a highlighter if you really wanted to. For the lips, you can do any color you want for a look like this. I mean, the eyes are so neutral that they're not going to compete with the lips, but for me, I've really been into the monochromatic look lately, that very nude 90s. I love it. So the one that I'm going to use is from NYX, and this is their shade called Sable. It's a beautiful light brown, and I chose it because it has a bit of orange in it. Don't typically match my lips to my eyes. I mean, I really don't, but I've been loving, like I said, this monochromatic look lately. Before I leave you, I wanted to show you another example of how you can wear this look simply by changing out the lip color. If you want to dramatize this a bit more, a darker shade like this is an excellent way to do just that. The shade I'm wearing here is from NYX's Lingerie Push-Up line. This is After Hours, and it's a beautiful deep matte brown. Glides right on, gorgeous color. It's beautiful with these eyes. It does have a menthol-like quality to it, which really caught me off guard when I first started using it. It disappears after the first 2 minutes, but it is rather tingly when you first apply it. Other than that, though, I really, really love these lipsticks. And again, if you want to dramatize the look a bit more, it's a great way to do that. If you're interested in any of the products I used to create today's look, I'll have all of them listed and linked for you below. They will be affiliate links, so if you click through and purchase, I'd like to say thank you in advance for helping to support this channel and our family. Looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another video in Dupe It December. Please subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos coming out this month, and I look forward to seeing you again then.